We hear a lot about the Berlin Wall, and of course that was significant. But the entire border between East Germany and its neighbors was heavily fortified.
Peter was trying to escape East Germany by crossing the border into neighboring Czechoslovakia.
It was hard to get from any part of East Germany into West Germany or Czechoslovakia or anywhere that might make it easier to get to the West.
East Germany was turned into one giant prison. The reason it developed this way goes back to its birth. After World War II, it was agreed Nazi Germany would be divided into occupied zones. The East would come under Soviet control.
The communist regime of East Germany discovered very early on that Moscow, their Soviet overlords, would not tolerate anything other than unthinking obedience to Moscow's rule.
But they're going to exceed the Soviet Union in their devotion to communism. They're going to exceed Stalin in their work to create the new socialist man. And to do so, you have to control every aspect of people's life. That is the job of the Stasi.
This complex is the Stasi's central remand prison. Peter was one of many picked up by the Stasi, who were attempting to control a population of 18 million and prevent them escaping to the West.
The state security services comprised a force of over 250,000 people. And this was essentially the political police to enforce conformity to the communist regime in East Germany. This is a state that is utterly repressive.
Once incarcerated, inmates were kept in total isolation.
My mother was the only person who knew that I wanted to escape. I always thought, does she know that I'm still alive?
With no contact with anyone, including family, this was part of the Stasi's interrogation technique.
The Stasi would isolate people with no other human contact, rob them of an understanding of day and night, when their meals were going to come, and most important, rob them of sleep.
The man behind Peter's arrest and pulling the strings was Erich Milka.
He was the head of the Stasi. He was a very bland, very unremarkable government bureaucrat who ruled over one of the most frightening and intrusive secret polices ever known in the world.
Just minutes away from the prison was Milka's seat of power, the nerve center of the Stasi state.
So this is the office of the East German Minister of State Security, the heart of the system, the heart of evil, from my point of view.
The Stasi headquarters was, in a way, the most important building in East Germany. It was entirely focused on controlling the population, gathering as much information about the most intimate details of people's lives.
With construction complete in 1961, this complex functioned as the nerve center for a surveillance state on an unprecedented scale.
They needed to know what was happening in your apartment, in your house, in your factory, in your school, and they had spies in all those places.
That meant collating a truly massive archive.
2 to 3% of the population is actually paid to inform on their neighbors, their classmates, their work colleagues, to inform the state security as to what people are thinking. And they kept vast files. Everything that you want to know about 18 million people is kept in the Stasi headquarters.